Hello everybody. Today we're going to take a look at installing a local AI assistant. I started doing this some time ago, and after hearing about Llama version 3.2 yesterday, thought I'd put a quick walkthrough together. I use these tools every day myself, as well as other assistants such as ChatGPT and Copilot, but I wanted to run other models, and running them locally was a fun project. All you need is a reasonably spec'd PC. I've got a dedicated graphics card in mine, which is great for running my queries, and it returns answers very, very quickly. This will work in a similar way on Mac, and many of the commands will be relevant to both platforms. Let's get to it. Okay, so here we are at the desktop, and the first thing I'm going to do is run a terminal session so we can get Linux installed on Windows. Let me make this window a little bit bigger and increase the text size so it's easier to see. So the command to install this is wsl space dash dash install, and Windows will go away and download Ubuntu and install it for us. So let's give a username. So in this case it's going to be Toby, and I'll type in a password and retype the password. And there we go. We've successfully installed Linux. So the next step is to take care of a bit of housekeeping. So we need to update our packages. So we use the command sudo apt update and hit return. Enter our password. Enter, and away it goes and grabs all the latest packages. And we need to run one more command before this bit's over. So sudo apt upgrade and -s and hit enter, and away it goes again and gets all these installed for us. So we've got a nice up-to-date system. So watch this bar go across, and then we can get into the AI proper. And there we go. We're back to our command prompt. Now we need to install the tool that the large language models will go into. So in this case I use Llama, and the command to install Llama is this one, and you can get this off their website. So if I open a web browser and we Google Llama, we can get to this website, and on here is everything we need to get up and running. And we have the Llama 3.2, we've got 5.3 from Microsoft, which is a good one, Mistral, Llama 2, there's lots and lots of different models. I'll quickly show that one. And when you click into these models, it gives you the command, but we need to get Llama up and running to start with. So let's hit enter on there, and off it goes again and installs Llama for us. Okay, so here we go. So we can see that the install is complete of Llama, and it's also picked up my NVIDIA GPU, which is great. If this doesn't happen on your system, you may have to install some drivers for your graphics card, but in this case, we're all good. So Llama is up and running. So let's open a new browser window, and we can check to see if this is running by going to the localhost. Oops. And it's on port 11434, as it mentions there. And if we see, let me make that a little bit bigger, if we see Llama is running, we're all good to go. So the next task is to pull down an AI LLM, so we can start chatting away, and we're going to use Llama, and we'll pull down, we'll do a relatively small one to start with. We'll just use Llama 2 in this instance, and we hit enter, and away it goes. And it's downloading the 3.8 gig there, so this is a relatively small one. Llama 3.2 I think is around a similar size, although they've got lots of different models for that version. So we'll let this run through, and we'll come back in a second. Okay, so we're back to our command prompt, and everything says it was successful. So we need to actually run this model. So the command, wrong window. So Llama run Llama 2, and here we are. We are chatting to our AI. So let's do a little bit of a test now. I'm a big Dune fan, so please tell me about the Dune character Paul Atreides. Not sure I've spelled that right, but here we go. So lots and lots of information about Paul Atreides. So one cool thing we can do is check how our NVIDIA GPU is doing. So we'll open another terminal window here, and we'll check what is actually running. So WSL dash list, and Ubuntu is our default. So we will move over to this. So space minus D Ubuntu. And now we've got a command prompt open for our Linux instance, and what we can do is type the following command. So watch space minus n space 0.5 space NVIDIA, because we have an NVIDIA graphics card, dash SMI. Aha, so there we go. So at the moment you can see my NVIDIA graphics card there, so it's a 1490 from NVIDIA, and we can see it's using some GPU power. Now if we keep our eye on this percentage here, I'll ask it another question. So please tell me about, let's try fade from the Dune universe as well. And there we go, and all of a sudden our GPU spikes and we get lots of information, and then we return back to normal. So we are actually using the GPU to run our large language model. So this is great. To exit this, we just do /by, and that will take us back to our Linux command prompt. Now this isn't the best way to use our AI tool, so a better way is via the usual chat GPT type of web page, and we can do that by installing something called OpenWebUI. Now that requires us to install Docker, so we'll install Docker. Now this is a whole load of commands, and you can get these all straight from the Docker website. So let's paste those in and hit go, and again it will go away and install Docker for us. So the next stage is we need to just install this here, and yes we do. Again, these commands are all on the Docker website, so anybody can copy and paste these. And that's Docker all installed, and we actually need to deploy our OpenWebUI container into Docker. So we use this command and hit enter, and off it goes, and it's now deploying the OpenWebUI onto Docker. So we'll wait a minute for this to complete. Here we are, everything's complete there. Now we can check to see if Docker is running okay with a sudo docker space ps command. And there we go. We can see that OpenWebUI is running and we're all good to go. So to access our OpenWebUI page, we go to localhost, and this installs us onto port 8080. And I'm already logged in. If this is the first time you're doing this, it will ask you for a username and a password, and you can set your account up. But as you can see here, we're on Llama 2, and I'll ask another June question. So please tell me about what can we think of in June? Emperor Carino. Damn, I can't spell today. Emperor Carino. And it will go off and search it, and there we go. So Emperor Carino was a fictional character in the novel June, so that's really cool. We also installed a couple more models, so we have 3.2 as well, and I've also installed Microsoft Phi 3. And you can just select these. In fact, I have a feeling you can even get them chatting together, which is just crazy. And they all work in a similar way. So let's start a new chat for this one, and we'll set this one as the default now, as that's the most up-to-date version. And we can ask another question. So please tell me about, let's do some kind of location. Let's do Ibiza. And off it goes and searches, and it tells us lots of different things about Ibiza. Remember, not all the information may be 100% accurate. AI tools are just a start, and we'll do another new chat, and we'll switch over to Phi 3. We won't set this as default, and let's try something completely different. Can you give me some sample Python code? So it's not just for knowledge, you can actually learn things in here as well. So there we go. So what's it telling us there? Let's scroll back up to the top. So yes, the generic hello world command. We've got a basic calculator that we can put together. So this can be useful for all sorts of things. So let's move back to 3.2. Apologies. And how do I create a pivot? Apologies for my typing today. Table in Excel. And there we go. There's the answer once more. So within here, obviously, we're selecting from various different models. We can download as many as we want. The best place to go for there is this models page on the Llama website, and you can scroll around and figure out what these do to your heart's content. There is an admin panel, and we do have some settings because in our case we have it set up so other people in the household can use it, mainly for homework, and we've also programmed it so it doesn't actually give answers, it just gives assistance, which is real cool for the kids. And I think in one of these it lets you keep the chats, so it'll keep histories, and that's quite important for us, obviously, that we want to see what the kids are getting up to. So that's it. That's a very brief walkthrough of how to install your own local AI. As I say, we use it all the time. It's really powerful, and I think the next stage for us is hopefully, if I go back here to the Llama blog, so Llama 3.2 only came out yesterday as of the making of this video, and we've got the text-based 3.2 running there, but very soon Meta made the Llama model multimodal yesterday, so we've got vision in there as well, and 11B will certainly run quite easily on the system. 90B will likely run just a little bit slower than you've seen today. So that concludes the video for today. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.